How do you do that every week?
Woody's at his age.
Welcome to the Jets Afterburners podcast, New York Jets Stand 16, and that guy right there is El Senor Liam, who's battling. Man, you're a warrior, dude. You made it to the show. You're a warrior. What's going on?
Yeah, I actually fell asleep a little while ago and woke up fever now, not feeling good at all. But you know what? It's a big day. Got a big division game coming up, so couldn't miss this one.
Dude, you're pulling a Jordan right now, man. Like you're like in
it's
game
my flu
7.
game.
Yeah, no game 7. No, Jordan's games never went to game 7.
No.
Like in game 5. You put a towel over you and you were ready to roll, man.
Flu-like symptoms. Let's go.
Flu-like. By the time you're done with the show tonight, you're gonna be dancing like Aaron Glenn. And speaking of Aaron Glenn, I got an admission to make. Like I gotta say sorry. Because after the game, I was really livid. I wasn't a big fan of the dance. I wasn't. I was like, this sucks. We're 0-3, and we have a coach going up and down the sidelines doing his old dance moves. Man, I got so pissed. And I went straight to Twitter, and I let him have it. And then a couple of days went by, Liam. I started reflecting. I started thinking, and I'm like, I don't think this is good what I'm doing here, because I honestly should give this guy a chance. This is one of our own guys, right? It's one of our own guys, man. And started thinking about the interceptions that he would make when he was drafted out of Texas A&M. And I'm old enough to remember all those great times. Even the Monday Night Miracle, he was part of the Monday Night Miracle. And then I snapped out of it, dude. Snapped out of it. That's my coach, man. That's the coach that's going to turn this crap around. All this losing, all this nonsense, 0-3, I wouldn't want to have it any other way. Let's go. Backs against the wall. Even Jet fans are going against him. Not this guy. Not that guy over there. Not Liam. No way. No way. Enough of my soliloquy.
Yeah, we stuck through it thick and thin. You know what it was? Like the dance itself, like it's silly and everything, and he knows that. And Aaron Glenn said, I'm never going to stop being me. Mm-hmm. And that is what we want. We want a coach to show emotion, not just, be a zombie on the sideline. Was a big play, really a historic play. Like if the Jets would have won that game, imagine what that play would be in history.
Right.
Seriously, that's right up there with the flashlight game. That would have been right up there with probably with the Monday Night Miracle. Similar blowout. I mean, nothing's going to ever top that game, but it'd be pretty close. And it's just so frustrating, like when you see like him dancing and everything, and then they go out, their defense, gets torched down the field. Like, let's call for what it is, Right. It's okay to forgive them, which we do. But then even like the clapping after the sideline, after the clapping on the side, I got that flu brain right now, so you got to forgive me a little bit. But the clapping on the sideline after the game is over, the smiling, like that's not forgivable. And I'm not going to sit here and start trashing Aaron Glenn. I like Aaron Glenn. You do too. We want to see him succeed. We want him to be the guy that turns this around.
Right.
And like, oh my God, it makes so much sense. The guy that was here that saw the worst record ever with the Jets, the 1-15 co-type, and then he saw the turnaround with Bill Parcells.
That's right.
He saw the AFC Championship game, the Monday Night Miracle. He sees firsthand. He was on the field for the no quit New York. That's him. So he's gonna get a pass. You know, I like the dancing. I just wish that we could be dancing. I wish it would be a victory celebration dance.
Right. I think we're getting there. You know, I hear you with the clapping at the end of the game. I didn't like it too, but like I said, there's a lot of reassessments that happen after the game. What I liked is that in the middle of adversity, even after the game, he's not clapping that he lost. He's looking at the players and he's seeing something very different from what many fans are seeing. He saw a team dead, completely in a morgue the whole entire game, all 3/4 and a half. The team didn't quit at the end. Tyrod threw those 2 touchdowns, one to Lazard, one to Garrett, and we're right in the game. The field goal was going to seal it. It was going to be done. That's it. But just for the mere fact where Will McDonald leaped over a guy and blocked it, ran it back, I'm here in the man cave going crazy. Everybody is hearing me as if I won the Super Bowl. And then, yes, the defense, it self-imploded. We lost the game. Unfortunately, that part of the game of the Jets not giving up was completely eclipsed with the negativity. And you know how easy we say the same old Jets, same old Jets. I'm going to say same old fans, and that's me. Same old fans. Always the negative, always the negative. Oh, no, you know what? Screw that. This was a step in the right direction. Are we 0-3? Yes. Could we have been 2-1? Absolutely. We play against the Miami Dolphins on Monday night. A team very similar to the Steelers and to the Bucs. Hopefully we get out of there at 1-3. The season can be turned around. I don't want to hear this pessimistic nonsense anymore. We're not going anywhere. You brought up a great stat, Liam. Dan Campbell's first season with the Detroit Lions, I believe it was 3-13. They got Aiden Hutchinson the following year. And some Williams character, wide receiver.
Jameson Williams.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as the it's going to take time with the foundation. You can see differences between Saleh and Glenn. Now, I'm taking the glasses off. Everything's off. I'm trying to look at this very objectively. Very different than Todd Bowles. Not even close to Adam Gase. He has nice eyes, Senor Glenn. All I'm saying is he's one of us. He has a plan. He has seen this plan work to fruition with the Saints. The Saints sucked before Peyton was there, Sean Payton. The Jets sucked before Parcells was there. Just ask Aaron Glenn with co-type. That's why a lot of Jet fans, they want to throw in the towel. They suck. They lose. That's it. I want to see wins. Yeah, of course we want to see wins. But that will take time. Just like we're on a 3-game losing streak, this can turn on a dime, man. We could win this week, hopefully, Monday night, 1-3. I'm telling you, this is going to be a completely different show if we're 1-3 next Thursday night. Thoughts, Liam?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And it does kind of feel like a must-win game. And I'm not trying to be that negative Jet fan either, but I could see this being like one of those like sloppy games. Like I don't really know. And I know that's not a great podcast answer, but McDaniels is going to be coaching to save his job. Mm-hmm. You could argue that he could be fired Tuesday morning.
Right.
So because the same way that we're looking at the Dolphins saying, oh, they're 0-3, we got this. They're probably saying the same thing. Oh, the Jets are 0-3. Oh, the Jets? Right. They're probably saying the same thing. And the Dolphins have a lot of talent. I don't know if it's a lack of respect for the coach. I don't know what the deal is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are accusing the coach of being drunk or on drugs or something, and whatever, not saying I don't care about that. I hope that's not the case. I hope he's doing all right,
Right.
personally. But Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Ollie Gordon, they got some dogs over there,
Mm-hmm.
and for whatever reason, it's just not clicking. And they brought it to the Buffalo Bills. They had the Bills, on the ropes. So they're probably another team just like us that feels, they probably feel like they're right there.
Right.
A win this Monday night is so monumental for the Jets, as it is for the Dolphins too. But for the Jets, what it does for the Jet fan and for the Jet player, it shows the locker room, yeah, we can win.
Right.
We can finish a game because it feels like we're right there. And excluding the Buffalo Bills game, we saw it week 1 with the Steelers, and we saw it last week with the Bucs. We're right there, right? 1 or 2 more plays go our way. We're right there. Xavier Gibson doesn't fumble. Oh, maybe we win that game.
Right.
And you look at like some of the penalties. I don't know if you could really necessarily blame the penalties, considering I think Tampa even had more. But the Jets defense is saying, like, if Ibuka doesn't catch that, that one-handed ball, if Baker doesn't run it for 30 yards on that final drive, then maybe, just maybe, we have a chance to win that game. Anything could change. Anything, different things could happen, different outcomes. So so the Jets know, Aaron Glenn knows, we're right there.
Right.
Could the ball bounce our way for once? Eventually it has to. What better time than Monday night against our true rivals?
Yep.
The Miami Dolphins. And don't think this game isn't personal. Aaron Glenn mentioned it today during his press conference. The fake spike.
Big one.
Was against him. Dan Marino to him. So it's going to be personal. It's going to be like, I have a feeling it's going to be like one of those like sloppy dog fights, like it might be high scoring, but I think it's going to be neck and neck. I don't think either team runs away with it early.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that this is going to be a game that's won. This is going to be who doesn't lose the game.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yes, you're right. I mean, I'm looking at the injury report. I want to bring this up here. There is one in particular. Here we go. And the injury report right now. You guys could see it, right? So, of course, the guy that we traded for, Jarvis Brownlee, is on the injury report. Did not participate, so he may not play. We have Jermaine Johnson, Tony Adams, which I think might be a blessing in disguise. Again, I don't like people being injured and whatnot. Then you have the kick returner.
Well, yeah, I believe they're day to day. Jermaine Johnson and Tony Adams are day to day, so they might play.
But the guy that took over for Tony Adams, he played pretty well he was all right, I would think. And then
I think the bar is a little low. Not to discount him or anything, but yeah, the bar is pretty low.
Azare Thomas, I think that was the cornerback that went in.
AZ Thomas, yep.
For Sauce, he did great too, man. You got all these young bucks in there, just trot them out there, and that's why I really like that trade here with Brownlee. I mean, he's an up and comer cornerback from the Titans. We got him for dirt cheap. I just like the fact that Mooj saw that there is a significant issue with our cornerback position with Brandon Stevens. I think Mooj is saying to himself, this was a major mistake, and I need to rectify this because the season is still there. And then you see Josh Reynolds, another wide receiver down to Fele. And this one to me is the big one, right? Justin Fields. I just have a hunch. I think he's cleared. But this is one of those where you don't want to show your opponent too much. You don't want them getting too ready. So it might be like a game time decision or Sunday. Sunday it comes out and they have just one day to game plan against them. But I fervently feel that he's definitely going to be on the field on Monday night. Miami, this guy here, he better play. Just for the name. Storm Duck. Liam, Thoughts?
I like him. I don't know him, but I like him.
How did
Storm
they?
Duck.
How did he get injured? Like someone tried feeding him like bread?
I would imagine so, yeah. And like I don't think that's good for their stomachs.
No.
So he might
like,
have like a big gastro problem going on.
Oh man, hopefully he doesn't see my guy. So now you got Darren Waller, Jalen Waddle, in which they were limited. They're definitely playing. I'm fine with this. The Jets aren't really showing too much of a huge. There we go. See, this always happens. You see, always happens.
Typical.
All right.
Oh, whoa.
There we go. There you go. Move over to your right a little bit. It'll be a
Yeah.
one-on-one. There you go. There you go. It's
Now
a
you
little
see
bit
me,
better.
now you don't.
Oh my
Peekaboo.
goodness. There you go. It's like confession.
Well,
Hey,
yeah.
You
Hold on,
know,
we'll get this. Here we go.
it's like two. There we
There
go.
we go.
Good. You got to show me how to do these things. So I'm
I
looking
don't
at the
know. I
Jets,
just
and
hit buttons.
I think Justin Fields is going to play, and I honestly think what he saw last week with Tyrod maybe lit some fire under him. I honestly think so. I think he saw that and said, "Shoot, again, 2024 is repeating itself once again. I could lose my job to some like 80-year-old. Last year it was Russell Wilson. And now he could lose it to Tyrod. Tyrod played pretty good towards the end of the game. He was starting to get into a groove. Brees started pounding the rock. Receiver started holding onto the ball. So I think if Justin Fields does play, which I think he will, he's going to have a great game, man. A great one. I think they want it more. I think the Jets want this one more than the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going into that game with a lame freaking duck, just like the Jets went into that Monday night the game before Monday night against the Bills with Robert Saleh. Saleh knew, man, that he was on his way out if he wasn't going to win games. And early on, Woody Johnson did the inconceivable. Out. I think the Dolphins might do something very similar. That's a great photo.
It is.
Right? He looks like our quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? Like he got all that swag going
absolutely,
on.
yep.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow,
Visor.
this is great. Visor, the sleeves. I wear sleeves.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're a big sleeve guy.
I am a big sleeve guy. And Elmo, I don't know if you saw the opening of the show. I pleaded sorry on the whole dancing thing. I liked it. I self-reflected, and I think it was that's him, man.
Did you look at the tape?
I looked at the tape. Good thing that you said that. I rewinded. I saw him busting a move, is how they say. And, when I was like back in 1988, 88, they used to say that. Yeah, busting a move. That's great. And speaking of 1988, Afram, where are you? How come we can't see him? Where is he? How do we add him on the stage, man? There we go. All right, cool. Let's do that. Let's go in the middle. You got to go into the middle, Liam. We need to see you.
Liam in the middle.
There you go.
We gotta get this figured out. Hold on a second here.
As you're figuring that out, Afram, you gotta.
There we go.
I don't know how you did that.
You're not feeling good. You're not feeling well, Liam.
I felt like a little weird earlier. I uncharacteristically fell asleep before the show, and I woke up, fever, sore throat, headache, congested.
Something.
Yeah, I did. I certainly did.
Hopefully, it's not SARS.
I did. I was in Jersey and I ate some sandwich.
Legionnaire's disease.
Right. Legion of Doom disease.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but.
Afram, I didn't get to speak.
Are those Surfsides that you drink? What are you drinking there?
These? No, Waterloo, still water.
Okay.
Yummy. We didn't get to talk after the game, Afram. What did you think about? At least the beginning of the game against the Bucs. I don't even want to get into it. That these are the rough patches of a new head coach trying to put their regime in there. Now, towards the end of the game, did that give you a glimmer of? All right, you know what? At least Glenn still has him playing towards the end.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it took them 3 quarters to figure out what the Bucs were doing. even though they ran the same play like over and over again. That's alarming a little bit. Got to make some sort of adjustment, but it's a young team if you want to look at it. We psych ourselves up, and when it doesn't happen, you know what happens. We get gloomy, and because we're tired of losing.
Right.
So let's be honest, we're tired of losing, but we know in the back of our minds this was going to happen with a new coaching staff, new system.
Yeah, we did say 5 or 6 win team, and
but not only
this
that,
is it.
We see that the defense, or at least the secondary, is confused. So the past 3 games, right? So you're a little worried about that. Why aren't they making any adjustments? Or is Wilkes just running the same plays? Is he making any adjustments?
Before we move on from the secondary, too, not to cut you off.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But that Brownlee trade tells you everything you need to know about this guy. Because I feel like if this was Joe Douglas and this was one of his guys, and we've seen it multiple times where it doesn't pan out, he just sticks with them.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
All off season long, we were saying that this might be a tank year. We're not going to do good, so we get our quarterback, and then it's really going to start. And then Aaron Glenn all off season long was saying, no, we're going to try to win games. And this to me shows that they're trying to win games. Muji realized that there's a problem in the secondary. Let me go get a guy.
Is it the move would have to be, would he be playing? Is he replacing? Is he moving guys around?
That's a good point. Yep.
All right. Just having him on the squad really doesn't change anything, right? If you put the same 11 guys on defense, right? You really didn't do it. Getting people doesn't make any difference. Now everyone's talked about, and everyone you talk to, not just amongst us, but any analyst, everyone seems to feel to put Stevens in more as a safety and then let somebody out. So maybe he does that. That would be interesting. We'll see how, maybe he's more of a guy that can stop the run, gap stopper, run, because he does hit hard, and maybe he can focus better on that versus trying to keep up with the speedster.
I think that would give us so much hope if they start shuffling players just to get it right. I think that would make me feel like, all right, you know what, this regime is different. They're not waiting until the season is done with in order to look at young players. They're ready to at least move players maybe into a position to succeed. Because again, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect the defense to be this bad. Throughout the entire history of the Jets, it's always been defense all the time. And not for nothing, I got to be honest, at the beginning of the season, I'm like, the offense is going to struggle. The defense is going to keep us in games. And when I see these past 3 games, I'm like, what's going on here? Especially the pass rush. It's not there. The turnovers, that has to change. I think if the turnovers pick up, and if we could at least get to, 65% of 3 and outs, or just limiting them, not to eat the entire clock, we put us in a great position to win the game at the end. It's so early in the season, Ephraim. So early, and this can change. That's the thing. I know I sound like, what a freaking eternal optimist. We've seen this in the past. We've seen this. Why not us?
No, exactly. Why not us? But I mean, when you have this array in the secondary, I want to bring that back up. Guys that you think that, they played well last year, like MC2. Now he's getting confused because other players don't know what's going on, and they tend to want to compensate, and now they look bad.
100%.
He wasn't like this last year. He knew what his role was, but you see guys running into each other, guys playing too far back, and letting guys get by. By the time say MC2 lets one guy go because he thinks that the deep safety is covering him, and meanwhile he's too deep to get there. We
even
don't know.
Sherwood, same thing.
Yeah,
He's another guy that we paid and hasn't really lived up to that this year.
Too many players are not playing well. So to me, is it the defense scheme that they're not understanding? The roles that they have to play, are they not understanding? You know what I'm saying? If it was one or two guys, you could say, okay, this guy really doesn't have the talent. But when guys we know have played well before are not playing well now, you'd have to start saying maybe it's the coaching is not transferring into their heads, or they're getting confused, or one guy is not, maybe not studying hard enough or watching enough film to actually see. We don't know. I'm just speculating. But for it to be this bad, it should be somewhat sound. I'm not asking them to be stoppers, but it should be somewhat sound. Okay, give up some yardage, but guys are you're giving up too much room. Guys are getting free. No one's covering, and you're basically chasing guys and over pursuing. That's another thing I've been watching. That in the offense they're learning. Sometimes they look good, sometimes, but when they have time, when they can keep in check the rush, plays are being made. Also, they need to not always try to always get it to Garrett. There's other players. You got to get these guys involved, regardless.
I want to see more Adrian Smith.
Yeah, even go first play of the game. Let him go for a deep bomb and throw it. If you even have to throw it over his head, at least you're saying to the other team, we're not afraid to throw it downfield.
But we're not doing that. But that's the problem. We're not doing it. I haven't seen one bomb yet. I haven't seen many screens yet.
The only bomb was the Pittsburgh game. That was the closest to the bomb.
I don't even remember that one.
Garrett Wilson. Yep.
It's not like it was like a 60-yarder, but it was a good play. He ran across, he beat his guy, and he threw a perfect pass in his hands.
So this is alarming here. So if it's not coaching, it's personnel, then that means at this point Aaron Glenn has to kind of reassess, because there might be a point where Aaron Glenn would have to assume defensive calls. If he thinks that it's the players, right, then it's up to him to put them in the position where they have to excel. This is, again, another litmus test for Aaron Glenn, just to see if he's different than his predecessors here in New York. You either write it out or you pull a Parcells and you say, all right, you know what? Just like you used to do with Charlie Weiss. All right, you know what? It's 4th and 1. What are you dialing up? Oh, a fullback, up the gut. No, I'm going to interject halfback pass or something like that. Something different out of the box. That's where I want to see the growth of Aaron Glenn.
And that pick 6 hurt us. And that, they blame it on it, but even Garrett Wilson said, I need to protect the ball. I need to go after that ball.
Crazy.
We can't be waiting on the first down marker. It's a deep ball for that point. They were back. You gotta protect that ball. That would have made a big difference.
I like this comment right here, and I think that's going to happen a lot sooner rather than later, because teams around the league are starting to make moves. Bill Callahan's giving up play calling duties in Tennessee. I think the Falcons just got rid of their wide receivers coach or somebody, and moves are going to have to be made. I mean, I was saying last week, and I still kind of stand by it. Fire him. Fire Steve Wilkes. We've seen enough.
It won't be this early. It won't be till the end of the year. I don't think Glenn is going to do that to any coach.
I don't think so either, because they're going to pull the whole. It's only been 3 games, so it hasn't been enough. But I think at least take over play calling duties temporarily. See if it changes.
Because pull him to the side and say, hey, what are you doing?
If he hasn't already, I don't know. I mean, but if you guys remember early on in Saleh's tenure, we said the same thing about Ulbrich. That defense wasn't that great either. They weren't as bad as this one. But I remember I threw a couple fire Ulbrich tweets out there.
Yeah,
and then if you guys remember, I think it might have been against the Bengals. I could be wrong about that though. Quinnen Williams went off on him, and it seemed like that kind of was the switch that flipped. And
he said, "You're not challenging us. You're not challenging us."
Right.
and then they started, letting these guys play like they know how to play. I mean, a lot of these guys come from programs in college that never lose.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're really not used to losing.
Yeah,
No.
You use that and say, hey, what motivated these guys when they were playing for these big programs, these winning programs?
Absolutely.
You
Afra, my man, thank you so much for coming on,
Oh,
brother.
feel better.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Yeah, be safe, man.
Be well.
Later. I like this one here from Wild Wave. So I think this is indicative of what the long-term plan is. You have to set a foundation first, the environment, the atmosphere, the culture. Again, let's go back to the Detroit Lions. The first year, 3-13, Dan Campbell, same old Lions. You weren't seeing Eminem there. You weren't seeing there.
Nope.
He was in the darkness somewhere. He wasn't there. But
Was he with Aaron?
he was probably with Aaron. Yes.
Imagine them two, Aaron Rodgers and Eminem together.
Oh.
That's what a mix, huh?
This. But I'm leaving this one up here because to me it's all about 2026. Once he does get the players that he covets to fit this scheme. Now it's just seeing what can you do with what you have. If you can do a lot with a little, imagine what you could do with a lot. That's how I'm giving this regime time. I think I came to peace with that. I say Tuesday. Tuesday I came at peace, and I was like, you know what? I'm setting the bar way too high here. You got a head coach that has a straight up plan. You could see the passion on him. You could see that he has a vision. Even at the end of the game, that a lot of people were going crazy on him, that he's clapping at the end of the game. He sees something different than from what we see. He sees probably glimpses of the first year when he was in Detroit, something very eerily similar, that the team is not giving up. They are giving everything they have, and they're being accountable. They're like, shoot, man, this sucks. Like someone like Michael Clemens. I honestly think, as much as we want to rip on him, that the guy is a penalty machine, and he's probably going to serve 35 to life one day.
Yeah.
It's just that I think he believes in himself. He's at the point where he's like, yo, man, this guy right here, this head coach, he takes me to the side. He might rip me a new one, but he believes in me. And I don't want to let him down. But there comes a point where if he continues doing this into week 4, I don't think players like that will be left on the team. I think so. We have a lot of money as well. We have a lot of money in 2026. 2027, it's a different year. We don't know how the cap is going to increase. I don't know, man. I mean, Aaron Glenn set that bar, though.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. And I think he sees it, and he wants to match that bar. He wants to get his team to at least get one win. Get one win under your belt. Now, like before the season is lost, right now, get the win, beat the crap out of Tua. Like, again, the Jets match up very well with the Dolphins. Now, they have to be on their P's and Q's, man, because those wide receivers, those are lethal, man. Lethal. With Tyreek and Waddle. There has to be some sort of scheme, man, just to get after Tua. Their backup is Zach, right? Is Zach the actual backup, or is he the third stringer?
I believe he's the third stringer.
Who's the backup?
Oh, I gotta look. Somebody in the comment.
Skylar Thompson?
I don't think so.
No, I think it's Zach. Let's see here.
Maybe. I'm pulling up something else right now.
Hey, yo. Dolphins depth chart.
Oh, Armand saying Zach is the quarterback too.
He is. Yes. And
that's something I can't sit through that if that happens. But you know what? We're not going to put that energy out there.
No.
But
no.
I did want to bring something up real quick.
Okay.
The Jets could get that one win against the Dolphins. Then we're back home against the Cowboys, who
Right.
we've pretty much owned for since 2007, I believe. Oh no, they beat us in 23. I forgot
Right.
about that. I did forget about that. Okay, so just looking at the remainder of the schedule here, uh, Jets Broncos. That I feel like that's another game that could go either way.
100%.
Jets Panthers,
Come on, come get some, dude.
and then after that Jets Bengals.
They
No
have
Burrow.
no Joe Burrow. No Joe
Right.
Burrow.
And then Jets Browns.
Oh,
That could be one. Jets Patriots. Jets Ravens. I'm not going to give them that one.
right.
Well, you never know though. If they start accumulating some of these wins, they start feeling good about themselves. They're not going in scared.
Right.
And let's be honest, the Ravens don't look like the same Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry's fumbling all over the place. Like Lamar Jackson, I saw the other night, is visibly getting frustrated. Jets Falcons, Jets Dolphins again, Jets Jaguars, which feels like a division rivalry at this point. Jets Saints, Jets Patriots. Jets Saints, that could be another one. Jets Patriots, that could be one, and then Jets Bills, probably not one. But
No.
that's what I'm saying. It seems like the schedule, like there was partially a gauntlet at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Steelers, they're a very good team, and Aaron Rodgers has proven that he can still play. Whether you like him or not, he's proven that he can play. Jets Bills, we all know how that one went. And then Jets Bucks.
You combined them.
Yeah, the Jucks.
The Chucks. Yes.
The Chucks.
The one that you put on the bed if you wet yourself. Chucks.
Yeah, those Baker.
Very synonymous to the Jets.
Yes. But outside of the Bills, the Jets are hanging with these guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're really not that far off.
No, we're not. We're not. 100% agree. You look at the schedule, and yes, it all starts Monday night. Monday night, you go into Miami, and you set the tone early. First drive down the field, 7. No, none of this 3-point nonsense. I'm so done. Play clean football. Then defense. Everyone. Sorry, it's from Bill Belichick. Do your job. Do your job. Brandon Stevens, if you're there, you're up against Tyreek Hill or Waddle, bump and run. Like, push them off the line hard. And then have your safeties right over. There's got to be something. Win the game. You come out of there, man. There could be some big time destruction in the East because the following day, Daniels could be out from Miami. So that team can go in disarray. Meaning, when we face them here at MetLife, they may have checked out, and we have another game that we could win.
Now, let me ask you though, not to cut you off here.
Please.
What you just said, this team could be in disarray. McDaniels could be getting fired. Do you think that this is a game that maybe they play a little extra hard for their coach? I don't know. Like right now, they don't look like they respect the coach.
They don't like him. Maybe 2 years ago, they liked his approach. And again, if those rumors are true with alcohol, which I really hope it's not, but if
he's a recovering addict, so like, I don't want to see that either. He's a human being. This goes way past a divisional rivalry. And if that is the case, I hope he finds the help he needs. Like I'm pulling for him if that is the case.
Right.
You don't ever want to see that.
No. And now Mogul. If the Jets are down, Fields cannot throw you back into the game. I beg to differ. Week 1, that last drive, Fields, man, he was making the throws. That whole game, he was making the throws. Unfortunately, Ramsey popped Wilson. That's all she wrote. But he can move. He can throw the rock. I'm still not going to give up on the guy because he's our quarterback. He's our quarterback. He has a lot of skills. He didn't make the NFL for nothing. Dude won a Rose Bowl with OSU against the number 1 overall draft pick in Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
So I cannot give up on him that fast. So with that being said, you give me him on Monday night. Two quarterbacks that suffer from concussions, right?
Yeah.
Yo.
What a group.
What a group, man. But come out of there. Come out of there, win the game. Yeah, Armand, 100%, man. Armand's right. So Engstrand has to start changing things up. Get your playmakers the ball. Stop throwing it to like, I don't know, that number 16 character. Again, Tyler Johnson. Like, you want to start blaming someone? That guy. There was a throw that Tyrod did on a third down, which eventually Glenn went for it on fourth, which it was on what, their own territory. But it was a strike to Tyler Johnson. Dude, dropped the ball right in his hands, man. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's right. Ni hao. Ni hao. I had this whole dialogue with him in Mandarin online. He's the best, China King. Let's see. If the Jets land the number 1 pick, I demand, damn it, a new staff. Einstein's nine. Yeah, like chill, man, chill. Whoa, easy.
Well, Vinny was never in on Glenn. Vinny was never in on this guy.
Inglorious bastards.
Yeah.
I hate the guy. I gotta be honest. The way how they played at the end of that game, you could call it luck or whatever the case is. They're playing hard for Glenn, Vinny. I don't see them.
I think they are buying in.
They're buying in.
Oh, China King agrees.
Wow.
Now let me ask you a question here, Dan. Monday night, Jets Dolphins. Jets win the coin toss. What do? Do they get the ball and put the offense first on the field and maybe set the tone? Or are you putting the defense on the field saying, go get them, boys?
I defer. Here's the defense. Yeah, because that didn't work out too well. I think it was like the past, game 1 it was like that, and game 3. We hired Gruden and drafted the quarterback. I like Gruden.
I do too. But there's a lot that comes with Gruden.
That's Woody Johnson does not want that. And plus, he's not going to pay for Gruden. Why? Because Gruden exposed Roger Goodell. Imagine what he could expose Woody Johnson. I'm all for it. Because he would probably dig deep and get so many emails from Woody Johnson that Woody Johnson would have no other choice but to sell the team. I'm cool with that. It's not going to happen. It's not. No. First overall draft pick?
I'm not even ready to talk draft yet, dude. I'm really not.
I can't talk draft. I can't. I not now. Not now. We're 0-3, you guys. Let's put things in perspective. We're 0-3. The sky's not falling. It's not like we were clobbered 3 straight games, 46-0, 35-3. The games were there, except for the Buffalo game. We're completely outmatched, way over in our heads, totally. But with that being said, we have the Dolphins, man. Who are the Dolphins? Like, all of a sudden, we're talking draft. Aren't the Dolphins? Shouldn't Dolphin fans be speaking about the draft? I'm with it, Johnny. I'm with it. I'm going to pull this one up. I'm with it. You win against the Dolphins in a hostile environment. You come back here against a playoff team like the Cowboys. You stay home. No, you go to London. Let's stay home. Stugatz, you freaking stay home. You got to go to London.
London's always a home game for the Jets, though.
I hate those games. Oh, yeah. I hate those games, dude. I don't like anything messing with that mojo of my Sunday rituals, man. Right in the morning, I get up, coffee, go for a walk, take the dog out. The dog takes me. We're looking at each other. We're talking about the Jets. He's like, "Oh, you know the outcome." And then I'm like, "All right, go to church, come back, set 9 o'clock in the morning, man, 9:30." There's some people that say, "Oh no, that's good. It's good." So then the game's over. You can enjoy the day. I can't even enjoy the night when they lose. Now you're ruining the day when they lose. Yeah, I hope they win.
I hope they win every week. Dan, there's more Jet fans down here, the Dolphins fans. They have 0 home field advantage. Okay. I mean,
even better.
There is a lot of Jet fans down there. I know that.
So 5 game.
So what are this? Yeah, I agree with that.
Hmm.
You come out, you're 5-3, you're feeling good about yourself, right? It's not how about it's can't even talk tonight. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yes.
So maybe we'll get into a couple key matchups here.
Hmm.
Sauce and Tyreek Hill.
Sauce. No, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I have to.
Well,
Sauce has not shown me anything this year, except for the week 1 game and that preseason game. As much as we all love Sauce, man, he's letting us down, man. He's really
Yeah.
letting us down. He's got to pick up his game. Ever since he got paid, his production kind of went down. And I think that's where Aaron Glenn has to kind of bring him to the side and say, yo, you're our number 1 cornerbacks. We've had tradition here with the New York Jets, man. Bruce Harper, Eric McMillan, James Hasty, Revis, Cromartie, Aaron Glenn. Now we paid you, and you're playing like this? Come on,
I
man.
was listening to WFAN, and they're right. I think it was Joe Beningo. And no, it wasn't old. He has his Monday segment. And he goes, you can't tackle and you don't intercept the ball. What do you do? And you have a bunch of holding penalties. It's like, what do you do? And I agree. I love Sauce. But I don't know, man. Sauce is the number 3 corner in the league. He's got to step up. He's got to show us something, somebody that's supposed to be like a leader of the team. I don't know. I mean, you want to talk about like a good matchup, Quinnen Williams and Tyreek Hill.
How much are we missing DJ Reed? Think about that.
You know what's funny? Actually, Sunday night, DJ Reed Monday night recovered a fumble.
He was valued here, man.
Yeah, he was. I liked him here.
I like what he brought, man. I think he would have done good with Aaron Glenn as head coach here. Same height, same passion, and
still have this.
Man. Yeah, man. He brought it. I would love to have him back.
He was so done at the end of he was just so done with all of this.
He was.
You know what? I don't blame him though.
There's just so much losing, man. There's just so much losing that you can do. With all this. It's just, before we go to Johnny Boy, guys, we have a packed house here, 44 viewers. I would just want to thank you, all you guys. This is like amazing. We have a whole new group of individuals, of subscribers. We want to thank you all. I mean, we got to 1,500. Thank you. But before we go to Johnny Boy, I want to, just for a second, pause. But not like that kind of pause. And go down memory lane. All right? These are all the head coaches. I need all you guys to pay attention here. All the head coaches that Woody Johnson has hired. Enjoy. If that list does not psych you up to run through a brick wall, I don't know what else does.
Well,
gotta love Woody Johnson.
I'm suddenly interested in eating the brick wall, drinking the brick wall, staring at the brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, Woody Johnson did not hire Aaron Glenn. I'm sorry, Adam Gase.
Yes.
AG. It's
AG.
those initials.
What's going on,
Johnny,
guys?
Speaking of initials, JB. What up, Johnny?
Hanging in there, man. So the DJ Reed combo, you guys talked about. I had to get on. I'm not missing that dude.
No?
Didn't that dude lead us last year in penalties?
There was so many. I mean, who knows? I feel like the whole team was like tied for penalties. Yeah.
And didn't that dude give up on us? He pretty much admitted it. That
he did.
He was done.
He did.
So, nah, man, I'm good, bro. Let these cats keep doing what they're trying to do. They're trying to build this culture, and it's about patience, man. I know that it's easier to say patience and whatnot, but we haven't won in so long that it's very frustrating. But it'll come, man, and I believe in what Glenn is trying to do over here. People were giving him shit for, I mean, giving him crap, right, for the celebration piece of it, and
to be honest, we were guilty of that.
yeah, but I mean, and you're entitled to, though, right? That's your opinion, and you're able to say that. And just like with anybody else that's like, I'm super pissed off with this team, I'm done, they need to prove it to me. That's their opinion. They're allowed to go ahead and do that. But for myself, in regards to that, we haven't seen that in I don't know how long, you know. And for me, I remember Aaron Glenn playing. I remember him being like that. And I was like, hell yeah. Because I'll tell you right now, if that was me on the sideline as a coach, I would have done the same thing, dude. To see something like that you never really see often, especially for the New York Jets,
Right.
and to bring you to that point where you're about to win, it's a little bit different to me, right? There's sparks that are coming with this team. Maybe it's me with wearing the Jets green glasses as I tend to always have on there, but we were a couple plays away from essentially winning, right? I know moral victories don't count, but we beat the Dolphins, and then we start stacking it from there.
Yes,
For
sir.
me,
Yep.
for me, this game, and I know it's still super early. It's a must win. Okay, like I can't stand the Dolphins. Right, there is a 0-3 team. You want to change the whole narrative of same old Jets? You beat teams like this. You
Right.
beat a Bucks team that's good. Okay, you looked very suspect against the Bills, who have and then the Steelers,
They're
right?
in the league of their own, though. The Bills, you know, like yes, it hurts, and they're a division rival, and we're used to playing them tough. But I mean, I don't like making excuses, but like just where this Jets team is this year, they're not in their league yet.
No,
They're just not, you know. So I guess that's going to be an outlier. They're going to have us. It is what it is, you know.
Can I just want to bring this one up here because I think this is an interesting point here. It says it's not super early when you're 0-3, Crypto Mike. Yes, but let's put things in a proper perspective. We beat the Dolphins, Cowboys, Broncos, 3-3. Now look at teams that are 3-0 right now. 3-0, they're all the way up there. They're at the top of Mount Everest. What if they go 3-3 as well? This is the moment right now to change the season. That's why Monday night is an intense must win for the New York Jets. It cannot be, we barely lost or barely won or whatever the case is, barely lost. Nah, they have to go in there business trip, straight up. And that's the beauty of having someone like Aaron Glenn that knows the history of the New York Jets versus Miami Dolphins. He's going to pour that into the minds and hearts of the players in that locker room. They're going out there for vengeance. Like Liam, you were saying how you have this head coach in McDaniels. Is the team going to fight for him? I don't care. I want to see our boys say,
Fight for our coach.
We almost won that game against the Buccaneers. Now we're going to South Beach and annihilating them and taking out their head coach.
with a backup quarterback at that too.
Zach. That doesn't scare me at all. It really doesn't.
I love this guy. We got to have this gentleman on here. Yeah,
He's supporting us from X, which we love, but YouTube is the best place to support us.
Dude, you're bringing it here. So, you guys want to answer this one? If we go 3-3,
Again, what are the expectations that we were putting on this team from the very beginning of the season? And I could speak for myself, right? For me, it was get to a winning season. and I'll be happy with that. Regardless if we don't go into the playoffs, but if you're giving me that fighting chance right around December and all that we might be there and it doesn't happen, but we have a winning season, that's something that you could continue to keep building off of. And that's
Yeah.
going to show other players that potentially might want to come over here to say, hey, they're doing something over there. And you have a coach like Glenn that is really well respected in the league itself, and he played the actual game itself. So, like, dude, if we're 3-3, I'm hyped because I again, I've said it on your guys' show multiple. It's gonna be a lot of growing pains, man, and it is what it is, right?
Well, here's what it is. If they could find a way to get to 3-3, Johnny, your standards seem to be a lot higher, and I love that for you, and I wish I was there too. But the thing is, we set the bar so low. Like I'd be like, okay, you're never okay with like a 4 or 5 win season, but like just judging by like where this team's at, the main thing I wanted to see get fixed was coaching. I wanted to see the team get better as the season went on. I want to see halftime adjustments, and I want to see a serious, no pun intended towards the Bills, but a punch you in the nose football team. I want to see the aggression. I want to see guys that I want to end the season going into next season feeling good. And I get it. We've seen it multiple times where the success from one season does not necessarily lead to the next season. But like you want to feel like you're at least on the right track. And that's what I'm saying. This is how the bar is set so low for me. But it is, like I'm not expecting playoffs this year. And if we have a winning record, we better make it into the playoffs. I don't want to see no repeat of 2015 here. Although it's fun, like you want to feel like you have a chance every week. But we saw it a couple of years ago with Salah, 2022. We were like 7-3, I think we were, and then we lose out the whole month of December, and we go 7-10. So it is what it is. He's saying he's 57 years old. Yeah, I know. My father's 57. It seems like he's like even like checked out. Like, yeah, he's gonna watch every week, but he's like, start winning some games, man. And that's really what it comes down to. I just don't think it's gonna be that. I don't think that this year is that year. But the thing that keeps me positive is he stood right next to Dan Campbell that went 3-13, and the next year he's in the play, deep run in the playoffs. So, it can happen. 1 week at a time, find a way to beat the winless Miami Dolphins. And they're saying the same thing about us right now. I guarantee it. We could finally get right against the Jets. They're saying we have a bunch of talent. All we need is that one win, and we can go on a run. So we're saying the same thing. 1 week at a time. We're right there. We're right in games. It seems ugly, but we are. And the other thing I want to see, and I guess we did see it for the most part last Sunday, halftime adjustments. If something's not working, you can't just be stubborn and saying, it's my system, learn how to run it.
Mm-hmm.
Open up to these guys' strengths. You got to open up the passing game so they can respect the run game, and vice versa. But you got to get creative with the run game too. You can't just, it can't just be a dive up the middle every play. Brees is gonna have his, where he's gonna break away for a few. I guarantee it. But I want to see the play calling get back to its week 1 form. Justin Fields, although his brain was scrambled, maybe he had a little reset. Maybe he sat out for a week, and that's what he needed. Just kind of get over that Bills loss, shake it off. You have a week to just kind of heal up a little bit. He's back. He's practicing. Hopefully he's, connecting with Garrett, connecting with Lazard and the other guys. Feel good. That's what I think this team needs. This team is just maybe lacking a little bit of confidence right now. It's a young, inexperienced team. They need to prove to themselves, yeah, we can go out and we can close a game because they're right there to the fourth quarter. And it's always just the defense that just blows whatever it is, one drive, one play, one fumble. Get a win, don't lose the game, and don't let Miami win the game. I think that's the secret here. As much as I would like to see the Jets take control, go out there and win the game and make a statement, don't lose the game, don't let Miami win the game.
See here, this one, I don't think we could ever get tired of the growing pains and whatnot. It sucks. Look, it's been 3 weeks. Heading into work for 3 weeks, knowing that the Jets suck. Everybody knows that feeling. Shoot, man, heading into
Got to hear it from the coworkers.
you got to hear it from everybody. Oh, hey, you almost had it. But once the Jets get that win, it's different. It's a different feeling. That's why I can't throw in the towel just as yet. This is right now on Monday night. And the great thing is that they play at what, 7?
Yep.
Even better, man. Even better. I'm in, dude.
Dan and Liam, can I ask you guys a quick question?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I had asked you guys this question during the off season, right? Where it's in regards to the coordinators, right? So I'm talking about Wilkes and I'm talking about Angstrom. So I asked you guys, which coordinator has the most pressure on them? Is it Wilkes or is it Tanner? Now, with 3 games into it, right, do you remember what your stance was and your answer? And has that changed since then?
Yes, it has. I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
I said Tanner, the unproven guy. I remember the answer. I remember the question and my answer, and I still stand by that. He's unproven. He's called a couple good games and a couple bad ones. Small sample size. Wilkes is the established guy. I don't think any of us thought he was going to be as bad as he was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm honestly ready for him to go. Like I really, if they were to fire him tomorrow, I could care less. Truthfully, I can't stand him. I am over him. I'm done with him. I hope I'm wrong. They're not going to fire him, and I hope he has that Jeff Ulbrich moment where Quentin Williams is up in his face and the script flips. Turn that switch on, and figure it out quickly. Yeah, there's talent on this defense. There is.
Yeah, mine was Wilkes, and I stand by it. The biggest pressure for me was having a defensive coordinator with all of this talent on defense. And it's across the board. And if he can't devise some scheme to get after the quarterback, create turnovers, make it so uncomfortable for the quarterback to look at it that he can't even know how to pre-snap it. It's so vanilla and it's frustrating because we know what we have at defense, but it just seems like maybe the defense that Wilkes is trying to implement is way too complicated beyond, and maybe it might take some time, but I don't want to get the guy's head to roll yet. He does bring experience. What I would want is Aaron Glenn to assume duties maybe for a week just to change it up a little bit, just to get to know his players a little bit more and to place them in positions where they can get to that next level. And that's my answer. And that's where I'm at because it didn't change.
See, it's a very tough one for me because I've been battling that question right now because when I'm watching the game, I'm seeing that our defenders are being put in the right positions, right? But when you're missing, what was it, how many tackles, how many over pursuits, how many different angles that they were there at some point, right? It has to be the players too, right? Some of the players that we have here, maybe they're doing too much. I mean, the lack of communication amongst the linebackers and that secondary you're seeing it. Michael Carter, right? We signed him for a while. He's not having a good season so far, right? Is that injury still nagging him? And it's not really being addressed as much because he's getting paid so much. He was the top slot corner last year, et cetera, and we need him there. Stevens. I mean, does Stevens get moved and maybe plays in as a box safety, and then AZ Thomas gets the rep, and then you get Malachi Moore, the rookie, to essentially take over Cisco's thing again. But then you have Tanner. Why are we not using tight ends? I don't understand it still.
when we were using it, it worked too. I mean, Ruckert showed something. Can we agree that Mason Taylor's been a bit of a disappointment?
He's a rookie, and again, I don't think they're utilizing them as it needs to be. That's my take on it.
Or he could be. Johnny Boy, my man. You have a great night, man. Thanks for calling in, dude.
Peace.
Peace
Go
out,
Jets.
Johnny.
Luca, what's up, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Hope
What
all
up,
is well.
Luca?
Happy Thursday.
Yeah, man. Yo, great show the other night, man.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. It was my first therapy session for the Jet fans. Don't worry, for all the fans who say I'm negative, I'll do Victory Monday shows too. So it's a Q&A session, but regardless, it was off the loss, but
Victory Tuesday upcoming.
hopefully.
Gotta be, man.
Like I'm not gonna lie to you, like I don't know what to predict for Monday's game because first of all, you have the Dolphins who Mike McDaniel's coaching for his job, but there's maybe just a scenario, not like, maybe I'm putting it out there. I don't know, but maybe there's a scenario. Maybe the Jets win one of the next two games. That I think they're both winnable, but we obviously have to see. That's just me. I've obviously been mostly negative most of the week, but just thinking about it, like there's a scenario where the Jets can win one of the next two games. If you get to 2-3, I'm feeling a little confident. I don't know who we play after the Cowboys, but again, it's game by game. But I know you guys are talking about the defense a little bit, and obviously we have injuries to Sauce, injuries to obviously, Quincy Williams is out for a few games, 4 weeks. We picked up just Mark Robinson.
That one hurts.
Yeah, it does. Because he was the better of the linebackers. You have Jarvis Brownlee, who now we just traded for. But there's a lot of moving parts in the secondary. But Dan, you're absolutely right. There's a ton of talent here, and it's disappointing the defensive side of the ball. I remember when we were doing the show, and you obviously brought up a few minutes ago, it's like which coordinator has the most pressure on him. And I think it was Engstrand, but I can't really say either has performed well.
Right.
In my personal opinion, I think the defensive side of the ball has been more disappointing because you have a good front four, in my opinion. When with Jermaine, I don't know if Jermaine Johnson did practice or limited practice today. You obviously Will McDonald, you have Harrison Phillips and Quentin Williams in the middle. That's not been the issue. Jawan Briggs hasn't been the issue. It's besides the front four, it's the linebackers and the corners and the safeties. It's all been bad. Like Malachi Moore showing some flashes. Okay, maybe there's something to build off of. Azariah Thomas, good man coverage skills. Maybe something to build off of as well. But you know what? You got to play these guys. Like if you're obviously evaluating the roster to see what you have, which is totally fine. But like, if you see guys that are not playing well, just bench them. And I know it seems like a simple concept, but Stevens has not played well at all. Brownlee, talked about in his press conference today that he was bringing like some sort of fire. He plays like with a really good energy. Hopefully, that carries over to the next game. But unfortunately, Clemens, obviously he's horrible, but unfortunately Brownlee is hurt. I don't know what would, he obviously does have talent. He actually had an interception last year at the Senior Bowl off of Sam Hartman, but I'm not sure what possessed the Jets to trade for an injured corner. But obviously, Sauce Gardner was dealing with a bit of an injury. I think it was last game because Thomas went in for him. But we'll see. You got to prove me wrong.
Well, we traded for a guy last year that wanted a contract extension.
Yes, we did. That was Hassan Reddick. Yes.
So we do things that make your head scratch, but hopefully it works out. I actually like the Brownlee trade, because it seems like, Mooj is looking at this and saying, all right, you know what? The season is still there. It's not a completely lost season. Let's see what we can do. At least maybe like you guys were alluding to before, move Stevens to safety. Man, that would be at least maybe he excels there. It's just
got to try something else.
You got to try something, man, because this is a little bit beyond.
You know what? I would rather them do all that this year while it's their first year. They're learning. All right, because this is kind of their past year. This is still like the honeymoon phase. It's frustrating from week to week. Jets Twitter is chaos, especially, Sunday nights and Mondays and even Tuesdays. But you started, Dan, I know I started to see it. I'm sure you did too. Yesterday and today, we kind of start to, all right, the pain of the Bucks game is over. And I've noticed that, these last couple of weeks, it's like once Wednesday comes around, Thursday, the pain starts to leave a little bit, and we start to kind of buy in a little bit.
Right.
So, not to cut you off there, but I want them to try to figure things out this year. While it is their gotta pass year, doesn't mean you go 0-17, but try different things. See what works for you. If you have these guys next year, maybe you start off faster next year then.
Absolutely. And, obviously, yes, it's going to be a learning year. Everybody's going to say it's week 3 and all these different things. And Armin's going to repeat this. But my video that came out like a week or 2 ago is after the Bills game. As much as as people are going to give this coaching staff a pass, I also want this fan base. It's not everybody, obviously, but we got to start demanding better, in my personal opinion. Like, yes, there's going to be rookie mistakes and everything along the way, but if Aaron Glenn wants to implement this tough culture, like it was so bad because I'm not, as I said in my last video, I'm not making myself out to be a martyr or a victim of any kind or a savior, but that one tweet where I put out that Aaron Glenn was clapping his hands after a loss, people really got pissed off at me for that. And honestly, I really don't care because that's who I am. I'm not here out to grift. I'm here to tell the truth. And if Aaron Glenn is going to implement this tough culture, why are you clapping after a loss? I could care less about the field goal celebration, the touchdown celebration, excuse me. I could care less about that. Your team's up, whatever. Sometime, I guess there's a side that says, hey, let's be business about it. But I know people will try to flip it their narrative and say, oh, well, Salah was emotionless on the sideline. That's actually partly false because whenever the team was doing well, Salah was all happy and jumping around and stuff. But when the team went bad, he was just sitting there and had a death stare on his face. But we don't want that from Glenn. We want Glenn to obviously hold players accountable. He yelled at Arian Smith this past week for the illegal formation penalty, but we don't see that from him doing it to Michael Clemens or anybody on the defensive side of the ball. That's where I draw an issue. This accountability thing cannot be selective. It's got to be an even standard and a high standard of football. Can't do any more of these stupid penalties. And, maybe the silver lining, I guess, is, at least they're getting it out now. But like, the high standard has to be there, and the coaching has to be there as well.
Well, you know what? Hang on tight here. We're going to bring on Panos. Panos, what's up, my man?
What's up, guys? How are you?
You doing good?
Bad day in the markets, but otherwise.
Don't even remind me. But that'll bounce back up, man. That's because of what? They want to close Washington, something like that?
It's just all in the charts.
Shutdown?
Just all in the charts. It's just crypto. It's just they want to shake us out, That's
Dude, it's September's almost over. It's going to skyrocket next month. You know that.
Just got to be patient. Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Wrap your mind around Aaron Glenn's dance moves just for the next 3 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a millionaire again.
So I stepped in and started listening to Luca. I agree with a lot of his points as well. I didn't hear what you guys were talking about before, but if we're on to Miami, as they would say, I personally think I've listened to a lot of these shows. I'm an avid listener to all the Jets content out there. I think there's way too many delusional Jet fans. I personally think, unfortunately, we suck. And I think we're going to lose Monday. I have no faith. It's going to be so Jets Monday night. Our secondary is absolute garbage. Tyreek Hill, Waddle are just going to destroy us. I just have that feeling. Tua is not bad. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks. And we can't get a turnover for our life. If there's ever going to be a turnover, then it's got to be against Tua, right? You would imagine.
Right.
And I just don't see it. Quincy's out. I don't even know if Jermaine's playing. It looks bad. It really looks bad. And it's not because the Jets are that bad of a team. It's just, unfortunately, how our fortune has gone. Like, this team really should be 2-1. That's a sad thing, right? But it's just so Jets. Will McDonald makes the most incredible play you'll ever see in your life. And I immediately text my dad and brother. I'm like, there's 1:45 left. We're losing the game.
Right. I sent that to Armand too.
I almost wish we didn't score, and then I'd rather have tried to score a touchdown somehow. But that would have happened. We wouldn't have scored the touchdown anyway.
Right. You take the points when you can get them.
You have to. You can't not score the touchdown. But in my brain, I'm just like, there's way too much time. And there's no way we're going to block it again or something like that. And
Well, that's the other thing. Not to cut you off, real quick. That's the other thing. Why didn't they line Will McDonald back up in the center?
That
Dan, you had
was-
mentioned this too.
That pissed me off so much, man. When I was watching that, I'm like, all right, you know what? They stopped them. They're gonna at least you're gonna line this guy up. And I showed the video on was it Sunday night? This center walked onto the field petrified that he had to block this monster.
He didn't even move.
Dude, when he looked up and he didn't see Will McDonald, his day was cake, an easy paycheck. He didn't even move. You're right, Luca. He didn't even move. That to me is horrendous coaching on the special team side. Why would you move him out of position? It's like, when the Buffalo Bills, the Patriots played the Buffalo Bills about 3 years ago with Belichick up in Buffalo. Buffalo couldn't stop the run. They could not stop it. Guess what Belichick kept doing? Running the ball. Keep doing what works. Why would you move Will McDonald from that center position and move him all the way out left? To me, that was boneheaded, man.
Yeah, keep doing. You're absolutely right, Dan. Keep doing what works until you force the opposing team to make the adjustment. But I saw a comment in regards to. I hate to interrupt anybody. I apologize, but I saw a comment basically addressing Aaron Glenn's clap as a thing of like, oh, he's proud of the team's effort. Going to be that semi-pessimistic Jet fan. I think I'm done with the effort thing. If you want to build a high standard for winning, wins is the marker, not effort. Sorry, I'm not going to buy this. The Jets were close with the Bucs. That first half was terrible. Let me say, second of all, the Bucs slowed down because Todd Bowles took his foot off the gas pedal, something we've all seen. And third of all, we obviously blew the game in the end, but you know what? Almost an effort. I'm sorry, that's not going to do it anymore. Like, if you want a productive rebuild, you can't just praise the moral victories. I'm sorry. That's who I am. Maybe I'm hardened. Maybe I'm cynical. Maybe I'm just tired of losing. But if you want to raise the standard, you don't want to make excuses, especially if you're trying to build an actual winning culture. That's just me.
Now we're going to tie these loose ends together because we're about to wrap it up. Closing thoughts. Panos, Luca, Liam.
Find a way. Go first, Panos.
Yeah, I'll start. Just my last couple of things. You can't say we're also not the same old Jets until I see like the week one you win that game. Like, you don't have the Gibson fumble, Stevenson makes that interception. Like, until stuff like that starts going our way and like we start winning these one-score games, or like, we get that luck, like they missed the 60-yard field goal, not make it if it was 80 yards, basically. It was such a good kick. Like, stuff like that needs to start to turn before we're not the same old Jets anymore. And to me, I think I said this to you guys maybe last year or before we were kicking off the season. The Jets need to prove it to me. I'm not emotionally invested as much. I'm still a crazy fan. I still go nuts on Twitter, like fire Glenn every 5 seconds, tweeting it probably, like, or we're going to the Super Bowl when Will McDonald makes that play, right? That's how I am and how I react. I'm emotional. I'm a fan, but I'm not spending money this year. Like, I went to see the Jets in London last year. I'm not going to. The only game I'm going to is because my brother is high up in sales at CBS, and I got to go to the box and like go to a game. Other than that, I'm not spending any money on the Jets this year, and I'm just down, man. I just don't see it. Like, every single team looks at the Jets as a win. So why are we looking at New England, Cincinnati, like thinking like we're gonna win, or Miami 0-3, we're gonna win? Until they do it, we suck, and it's infuriating. And that's my 2 cents, I guess.
Love it. Great thoughts from Panos. And to piggyback off what he said with the fans saying, oh, this is going to be a win, this is going to be a win. There's also an alternative, which you say, well, we can't mark every game as a loss and excuse it. Like, the excuse that I've been seeing on Twitter is, oh, well, the Steelers, they're a playoff team. The Bills, they're a Super Bowl team. The Bucs, they're a playoff team. They're a combined so-and-so. But, like, is that an excuse not to pull out games? Like, again, once again, I'm tired of the losing. I want high expectations. My message to all Jet fans is to demand better. I'm not saying we have to make the playoffs. I'm not saying we have to win a round in the playoffs. I'm not saying we have to make the Super Bowl. But you know what? This little rebuild standard has to elevate just a little bit to where, like, okay, we have to have a higher standard for competent football and winning football. If the Jets win next week against the Dolphins, like, okay, let's build on it. Let's not be self-satisfied here. Let's not do any of that. Let's not make excuses. They should have won against the Bucks. Again, should have, the fallacy, the predetermined outcome. Should have won against the Steelers, but they didn't. That's a problem. So now we're sitting at 0-3 when we could even be 1-2 as opposed to 0-3 or 2-1. But again, we are 0-3. Our record says what we are.
Yeah, I agree with that. You are an 0-3 team. We've been bad these last couple of weeks. It feels like we're right there. I really think that this needs to be a get-right game for the Jets to save their season. Get these guys some confidence early on while things still mean something. You don't want to be like mid-November, as every Jet content creators talk about the draft already. And, now we got to get ready for, Jets-Panthers. So find a way not to lose this game. You got to hang with these guys. Hang it tight. The Jets are not built like a team, although we did see it last week, but we are not really built like a team to consistently play from behind, and we got to go out there and we got to execute our game plan, open up the passing game, make them respect the running game, like I've been saying all show, and don't lose this game. Would it be nice if the Jets went out there and won this game? I think it would do a lot for Justin Fields' confidence. Brees, who's, the running game hasn't been the same outside of that week 1 game. I think it's regressed a little bit. Stick to your game plan, though, switch it up when necessary, make those halftime adjustments when you have to. And they have some talented wide receivers out there, Tyreek Hill and Waddle, they are dangerous. I know Tyreek Hill is getting older and he has a lot going on off the field. He might be looking at this because he wants out too. He does not want to be in Miami. So right now he's playing to showcase himself to another team right now. That's my honest belief. Sauce, you could figure out a way to get right. You could silence all your haters because you had a lot of them this week, and it's all been warranted. So I don't think there's a ton of storylines going into this game. It's two 0-3 teams. One team is trying to save their coach's job. The other team is just trying to find their way in the NFL with a lot of young players, with a coach that's trying to establish his culture. So with that being said, I do think the Jets are going to win this game. I'm feeling very confident. I think it's going to be like one of those 21-20 games. I think there's going to be some points, but I think it's going to be ugly. I think, expect a lot of penalties. That's until they show us otherwise, that's what's going to happen. But find a way to hang with these guys. We're mentally tougher than the Dolphins is what this comment says here from my own world. Yeah, I agree with that. You know what? Figure out a way to get it done, man. It's as simple as that. Got to start winning some games. This fan base is going to be going off the rails soon.
Ready off the rails. I'm ready.
One week at a time, though. 1 week at a time.
They got to score 30, or there's no chance, in my opinion. They got to score 30. Our defense is giving up 30 every week.
There he is.
Yeah, the man himself.
There he is.
And also, back one last thing with Lucas said, the only team I can excuse the loss for is the Bills. I mean, it's warranted. I mean, they're insane. They might go like 17-0. You see that schedule? It's ridiculous.
Dude,
It's
out of this world.
like,
completely. But it's the Bills. They'll probably get knocked out in the divisional round.
Right. They'll go 16. They'll go 16-1, and we'll beat them and like mess up our.
Of course, 100%. Without a doubt, absolutely. Honestly, I'm not even going to give a prediction. I'm watching the game. Obviously, as soon as the game starts, I'm already thinking that we're going to win, but no expectations. I think you nailed it, Panos. This is one of those where we're very numb as a fan base. We're going to watch on Monday night. We're going to hope for the best. But until proven otherwise, like the ending last week, as much as we hate to admit it, we saw it coming. We saw it. It was too good to be true. But I like the fight at the end of the game. I like that. I like that they're still playing hard for the head coach. But enough of these moral victories. We've been rebuilding with toy tool sets since 1970. Over and over, we have no foundation. It's horrendous. I'm done with the moral victories. I want to see results. Just like Leon Hess said in 97. That enough is enough. Enough. The Washington Redskins, they turn it around 1 year. 1 year. Houston Texans, 1 year. Enough of this, 2 to 3 years. We're always 2 to 3 years away from being 2 to 3 years away.
From rebuilding again.
Exactly.
Enough is enough. That's it. It's done. Monday, win the game. That's it. Simple.
One last thing I just want to say about Joe Douglas. Does he cement himself, in my opinion, maybe now, the worst GM of all time after Idzik? Because by simply giving away Sam Darnold and drafting Zach Wilson. To me, if you look at Sam Darnold now, that might cement him as the worst GM we ever had. I don't care who else he drafted, just by making that one decision, because you could have traded all those picks. Trust me, I was out on Sam Darnold. I was a person saying draft a quarterback, but I'm not the GM. I was being paid to make the decision. So now when you look at it, that is a horrible move. And that cost him his job. It cost our franchise, our everything.
I hate to delay the ending of the show, but I want to piggyback off
burning
that.
up over here.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to. I just want to say Joe Douglas's
fever. I'm like, great.
Joe Douglas's first year, he didn't exactly build around Sam Darnold. And
Leon, go, Leon.
What was I going to say? The Jeff fans gave excuses to Joe Douglas. Oh, we signed Rashard Perriman, we signed Greg Van Roten, Connor McGovern, George Fant, just a bunch of stopgap guys. Meanwhile, you're trying to build around your quarterback, which again, Jets fans justified. But again, I'm just here to tell you, I'm not justifying that. But that's me.
It is what it is. That's in the past, and we got to move forward. Guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Go Jets, and see what happens. See you guys later.
Quarterback, Ken O'Brien of California Davis. Just 14 that first time, now going long. They got a wide open man, and he makes the catch. It's Braylon Edwards taking off. Braylon Edwards will take it home for the touchdown. 80.
First down in San Diego territory at the 47-yard line. Big draw. And Pennington going for 6. Deep down the